Hey everybody, welcome to another video review. Tonight we're going to finish off the J. Scott Campbell Fairy Tale Fantasies series from Sideshow Collectibles. This is of course Alice in Wonderland, the exclusive version out of 2000. I have I think 597 out of 2000. So the two previous statues in this line was the Little Mermaid and Tinkerbell. So this one here is, in my opinion, definitely the best of the line. I think they gradually got a little bit better. I think that the problem with Ariel and Tinkerbell is that while the concept was really, really good, of course, the execution maybe was a little bit lacking. They were smaller statues, a little bit simpler, and if you looked really, really closely, you know, some of the materials felt a little bit cheaper. This is not the case with Alice. Now, one of the things about Alice herself is that, you know, she has very, very striking colors. There's just something about the blue and the white, you know, that really go very, very well together. And then, of course, they have her on a really nice base, the mushroom that she's sitting on, and of course the Cheshire Cat looking up at her with that, you know, famous grin. We go backwards. So definitely a much bigger piece than either Tinkerbell or Little Mermaid. And in my opinion, I think it just feels like a little bit more solid, a little bit heavier piece, a little bit bigger piece. And I think the paint is a little bit cleaner as well. Again, beautiful portrait, beautifully done, beautiful eyes, excellent paint color, very, very nice sculpt, body sculpt, and then the hands on either side, gripping a little piece of the mushroom that, you know, she's thinking about eating. They're all magnetized, so the two arms are magnetized again into the shoulders, and then the whole body fits into a slot on the mushroom. Here is her billowing dress on the outside, and then here is her basically sitting on the mushroom at an angle. Very, very nice. And then, of course, adding the Cheshire Cat. The exclusive comes with a nice, as the other ones do, a nice metal plate of the original art by the famous J. Scott Campbell. So here's all of the elements here. Very classy. You can actually see the inspiration for it. You can compare this to that. You see they did a band-up job. Beautiful interpretation. This is kind of a little interesting issue because before the Fairy Tale Fantasies line was optioned by Sideshow, some of the private garage kit producers had created a few of these pieces. Now, luckily, either by choice or coincidence or by actual planning, Sideshow hasn't duplicated any of the pieces before. The Little Mermaid was done as a garage kit form, but again, completely different pose than the one that Sideshow chose. And of course, Tinkerbell had also been done, but again, completely different pose. But in this situation, there actually was an Alice out there excuse me, that was a garage kit. And it's the exact same pose. And I think it was even, sculpted by a different sculptor completely. I think that was Roberto von Baer who did the garage kit version. Now their base was quite a bit simpler. It was just simply her perched on a smaller mushroom. There was no Cheshire Cat. But Alice herself, you know, is basically same pose because you want to remain true to this. And so, you know, I didn't buy the garage kit mainly because, of course, with the license piece, I didn't want to support the license piece. So that this is the one scenario where, again, there are two versions, both the Sideshow license piece and the garage kit. And I have to say, of course, that between the two, I probably would give the thumbs up with a nod to the officially licensed piece. I feel like, you know, their base is just a lot better. You know, the Cheshire Cat is almost like another character. So it's really nice to have him in there. And I think that the casting is a little bit cleaner. The paint job, very, very nice. And just, you know, things, the quality probably just a little bit nice, a little bit cleaner versus the garage kit, where you are a little bit more at the mercy of the paint master that you send it off to have it done. So that is sort of a little side light to this piece. So very cute, very good. She's cartoony, and so the texturing doesn't have to be quite as much with that, but they had to do a good job with painting the stockings, and they certainly do. They have a very nice little element here, a little black bow tie, which is again very accurate to the source material. This is the kind of famous J. Scott Campbell face. I have quite a few of J. Scott Campbell's statues in my collection, Danger Girl, for instance, as well as his Fairy Tales line, both in garage kit and also licensed the Sideshow pieces. So definitely very good, and very classically and well done. Here's her blonde hair, and then of course the beautiful billowing dress, the mushrooms, good skin tone. Yeah, definitely excellent design. Good use of magnets to put her together. A lot bigger and heavier versus the other two smaller pieces. Excellent paint job, very, very good sculpt. So I hope that they're gonna make more of this line because, Scott Campbell created, I have this on my YouTube channel, a pretty older video which you can look at where I actually went through all the calendars that he put together. So there is a wealth of source material for them to continue doing statue interpretations of the calendar, the Fairy Tale Fantasies. Some of them are really, really ambitious, really, really difficult to do. But it seems like with each piece, Sideshow is getting better and better. I mean, certainly this Alice piece is a lot better than the previous Ariel and Tinkerbell pieces. And I think there is definitely a demand for them. I think because of Sideshow's involvement, a lot of the garage kit producers, they do not want to get into legal issues. I don't know if Sideshow has even needed to put in any, C and D letters, cease and desist. I think a lot of garage kit producers are smart enough to figure out that they should stop by themselves. So I don't think there's a lot of competition there per se. You got Beauty and the Beast out there. Either version of the calendar would be fantastic. There was a little hint from some of the early Sideshow videos that hinted at maybe Cinderella running down the staircase as a potential next project if they're going to proceed. And obviously you've got some truly potential epic pieces like Peter Pan surrounded by the mermaids of the lagoon, which would be a gigantic centerpiece level statue. You have, of course, versions of Little Red Riding Hood. That would be great. You got Rapunzel from Tangled. That could be really good as well. So there are a lot of pieces in this line that they can work and create, and I think would do very, very well. It's just a matter of whether Sideshow is willing to commit to it, and then also to commit to the paint quality of something like Alice here in Wonderland. So it just all sort of, again, depends, but I'm really, really happy with the way that this turned out. And if this, for whatever reason, is the last piece of the line, they definitely ended it on a bang. And sometimes there are business decisions that we don't really understand as fans. There's behind the scenes negotiations we don't know about. So there are certain lines that Sideshow starts that has the potential to be amazingly beautiful, really, really successful, and it just kind of peters out. They had, for instance, a Disney premium format series where they unfortunately only did 4 pieces. They did Snow White, Maleficent, and Captain Hook, and those 3 were amazing. They were like sort of this juxtaposition of dolls and premium format statues. I mean, they were premium format statues, but with cloth and everything. Just beautiful pieces, but for whatever reason, it didn't sell as well as they expected. And after they did the Jessica Rabbit version, they just gave up on the line. I don't know whether they lost it. They likely lost the license, or maybe Disney wanted more money to renew the license, but probably the financials dictated that between what was sold and what Disney was asking, it just wasn't feasible to continue. but it's a shame because that line was actually pretty revolutionary. And you would think that Disney and Sideshow would be a match made in heaven. I mean, of course, Sideshow has had remarkable success with their Marvel and DC lineup, but the classic fairy tale interpretations, unfortunately, just were not to beat. So these things do happen. And I have some of the older pieces that they just gave up on that I might dig out of the garage and really kind of showcase. But that's, of course, a video for another day. So kind of simple, short and sweet. Look at the beautiful red heart around the necklace, the bow. Again, in terms of the color scheme, Alice is definitely one of the best and the most striking colors out there. Always has been, in any type of format with the dolls and the costumes of the dolls. The limited edition doll, for instance, Alice in the Disney stores, the limited edition doll collection is usually around $2,500 to $3,000. And again, just gorgeous as well. I'll do a review of her at a later time. But definitely the blue and the white, one of the most striking color combinations, along with the blonde hair and the beautiful sculpt. So I hope you enjoyed that. This is the Alice in Wonderland from J. Scott Campbell, Fairy Tale Fantasies from Sideshow Collectibles. And until next time, do take care.